So, judging by this first episode, Kirakira is either the pure tastiness that comes from sweets, or just plain old calories. Wait, what am I saying? They're pretty much the same thing. After all, we all have to thank the sovereign that is butter. Hello my friends, and welcome to the first of a series of quick little reactions and reviews I'm going to be doing for the new Precure season, Kirakira Precure a la mode. I'm just going to take a look at the episode, maybe make a few jokes here and there, and then at the end do a quick little analysis. So with that in mind, let's take a look at the first episode of this series that's likely the nightmare of a lot of Atkin directors out there. So this first episode serves as an introduction to our main heroine Ichika Usami, who as a little girl enjoyed watching her mother make delicious looking cakes. And in her teenage years, yeah, believe it or not, this girl is the same age as Minami Kaido, is going to bake a cake for her mother who's coming home from a trip. Also, her catchphrase is whip, step, jump. You know, you're just one word away from ripping off another certain pink magical girl. By the way, am I the only one who misses this series? Anyway, she heads into town to buy cake ingredients, and as she's doing this, the fairies of this season are confronting the villains of this season, which results in an explosion of cream all over the town that looks like, okay, I won't say what I think it looks like. After all, it's not as though this came out of anything really big and phallic. Breaking news! Mount Bukake has erupted! I repeat, Mount Bukake has erupted! Oh, now I understand why we named it that. Anyway, after that little scene that somehow got past the censors, we get the opening of the season, which is really darn good. The tune is very catchy, and there's a ton of little visual touches here and there that force you to watch it more than once. They get across the personalities of each of the characters, and all around it's just a really fun opening that even seems to include a callback to the original series opening. So, good stuff. And now, 1 minute after we get back to the episode proper, we get an insert song sung by Ichika's VA as she's baking her cake with animation so good that you'd swear it's live action. Okay, so this likely means that each of the Precure are going to get their own little insert song during their introductory episode. If that's the case, I'm really looking forward to Yukari's episode. We're going to get a bit of a Hatsune Miku song out of it if that's the case. Anyway, in spite of that very well animated montage, Ichika messes up and ends up baking several cakes that fail to rise. Luckily, the mascot of the season, Pecorine, is there to eat up her botches. While initially giving her the traditional freaking out at the fairy reaction, Ichika quickly warms up to Pecorine after she points out how her over-mixing the cake batter is making the Kirakira disappear. In other words, Ichika's initial cakes probably produced a little bit too much gluten, which prevented rising. Yeah, I'm into baking too, so I kind of know this stuff. However, just as her first successful cake comes out of the oven, she gets a call from her mother saying that due to complications at the airport, she's not going to be able to make it home for a while. Disappointed at this news, Ichika considers giving up on even decorating the cake. And with just as impeccable timing as Pecorine, the first MLTW appears known as a gummy. Damn, so the stout critic was right. Those cute little bears are starting to revolt against their human creators. Apparently their goal is to consume all of the aforementioned Kirakira of every tasty confection they can find and grow stronger. So basically these guys are Duff Goldman's mortal enemies. Wanting to be a more proactive mascot character, Pecorine tries to protect Ichika's good cake. And to her credit, she manages to evade the gummy just long enough for them to reach a conveniently empty park. What are the odds? Not wanting to cause any more trouble for Pecorine, Ichika almost hands over her cake. However, she then remembers the first time she was able to taste her mother's cake, and how happy eating it made her. Realizing that even if her mother can't enjoy it, Ichika doesn't want the feeling she put into the cake to go to waste. With that little declaration, the powers of the Kirakira in her cake awaken and put up a force field allowing her to finish decorating it. Seriously, unless that thing was a time bubble, the monster really gave Ichika a lot of time to finish off her cake. Was he just like waiting on the outside, tapping on the bubble saying, hey, gonna take any longer? I mean, don't rush or anything, but could you, I got places to go. After completing it, Ichika's tasty looking cake then becomes an inedible little plastic transformation trinket for the season. Yeah, that's a fair trade-off. She uses it plus her smile compact. Seriously, the toy designers are starting to get really lazy with their designs, and transforms into Cure Whip for the first time. They have a pretty decent fight, ending surprisingly without the MLTW's destruction, so is this guy gonna become a recurring character, I guess? And the episode ends with the other major toy of the season talking to Ichika and surprising her. Then again, I guess talking grocery bags are a lot scarier than talking overweight plushies. Yeah. Anyway, this was a decent start for the new season. I don't think it's fair to give my full first impressions until the entire team is assembled, but this is getting me excited for at least the next 4 episodes. The pace of this episode was pretty good overall, and not a lot of it felt like filler. The insert song was a little bit superfluous, I'll admit, but at least it was short and catchy to say the least. And it did give us a decent look at the show's themes regarding baking and how we can share our feelings with others through it. As someone who enjoys baking and even has something in the oven right now for today's Super Bowl, I understand that feeling. Speaking of feelings, I really enjoyed some of the more subtle touches they included when expressing Ichika's disappointment after learning that her mother wouldn't be able to come home. They briefly muted her voice, her father quietly closes the door, and her sleeves slowly roll down. It's a simple yet really effective little scene when you put that all together. It's a good character moment that shows how much dedication Ichika puts in when baking for others. The first battle scene, while a little bit short, was really well done and introduces a very interesting new concept. The idea that each of this season's Precure will have movesets attributed to their animal motifs. Now I'll admit, I might be feeling this way because, well, I'm gonna miss Zoolger now that it's ending this week, but I really like the idea that each of the girls of this team might have their own unique movesets. We'll have to wait and see how far they'll take this, but for now, I'm really excited. And that's pretty much all I have to say for today. Hopefully at least half of you guys are going to be able to enjoy the Super Bowl today, and I'll see you guys next week with episode 2. Until then though, farewell for now my friends.